It's Andrew in Dallas.
Yes, and
hi, Andrew.
Hi, and yeah, I do. I've been watching your show for a while, and I really like what you have to say, and I agree with almost everything you have to say.
Almost. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, I remember watching the show you did on objectivism, and you actually said you did agree with Ayn Rand on metaphysical and epistemological claims. Is that right?
I mean, I don't disagree with Ayn Rand about everything she ever said.
Right. Well, you agree with her that reason's man's only guide to action, or correct? You can only guide your way through life using your reason. Would you agree with that? Her epistemological view on those points.
I'm not.
But I wouldn't, because clearly there are a lot of people who blunder their way through life without doing that.
I guess but the real question would be,
if you're asking whether that's the best thing to do. Is that what you're saying? That is the better way to behave?
The proper way to live their life is
sure.
using
I would
reason
say
as
that
their primary guide.
I prefer
and if they don't
that.
use reason, that'd be very harmful to them.
Sure.
Sure.
You would agree with that. All right.
Well,
so you basically,
we had previous callers that brought up the life expectancy thing as evidence that religiosity is not necessarily that harmful, at least in that arena. So harmfulness is, a complex issue that we'd have to look at separately.
Right.
Right.
But anyway, go on.
But you would agree that every person in the world would have to use reason.
Where do you get have to?
Clearly not.
They don't have to use reason?
A lot of them don't.
In order to live.
Right.
You mean that you can?
Well, I mean, would you say that? Would you say that?
Well, there are people who eat because they're hungry, as opposed to eating because they realize they need food in order to survive.
Yeah. Would you say that my cat goes through life with reason?
I think if you need to get food, you have to use reason.
Well, again, would you say that my cat uses reason to get through life?
Well, you're not. Reason is for human beings. I mean, I think.
Well, okay, then my cat goes around eating
people,
just fine, right?
Not for animals, because animals, are born with these instincts, such as a bird can
and
be
humans
born
have
knowing
no
how to build a
instincts?
nest, but humans are not born knowing how to build a house. They have to use their reason in order to.
Humans don't have to have a house in order to live.
Well, they have to have shelter in order to live, and
that's true, and so does my cat.
And humans have no instincts that would lead them to shelter if they were out in the wilderness on their own?
Sorry?
Humans have no instinct to seek shelter?
I think they have no instinct on how to build shelter.
And didn't we just agree? Didn't we just agree they don't need to build shelters? There's shelter to be found in nature.
Right.
There was a point at which our early hominid ancestors weren't building houses either, dude.
Sorry?
There was a point at which our hominid ancestors weren't building houses either.
Right.
You're not going to be able to partition off animals from humans and say that special rules apply to humans that don't apply to animals.
Yeah, especially
that's not going to work.
Especially if you're going to
I thought we'd get a lot deeper into this before we encountered some stuff that was like completely freaking crazy.
Well, especially if you're going to accept like the scientific idea of evolution, which says that there's not really some magical dividing line between humans and animals. There's just a matter of degree. I mean, reasoning happens to be our niche, but there is some kind of rudimentary reasoning capability.
You were much better off when, for a moment, you seemed to agree that what you should be saying is only that, using reason to survive is better than not using it. If that was all you were saying, I think Russell and I would agree. But you keep saying have to, and as soon as you say have to, we are off on a magical journey examining the relationships between humans and animals.
Well, I think that if you don't use reason, you're eventually going to. You cannot survive for very long. You're gonna.
And that's why no animals in nature survive very long.
Right. So.
Dude, no, wrong. No, wrong. That's false.
Right. Well, I guess I'm not understanding your argument then.
Yeah, I guess you're not.
All right.
Thanks for your call.
Wait, hold on.
Wait a minute. I want to actually get. Okay, we don't agree.
I think that when
we don't
find,
agree on this point.
All right.
Well, but what's the point? Why go on to other points? Is this like fundamental to your case? Is this fundamental to your case?
What your argument is, because you basically agree that if man doesn't use reason, he's going to die. I mean,
No,
pretty
we
quickly.
didn't agree with that.
Okay, then why do you disagree with that?
Because there are examples of lots of animals living without reason.
Right. Well, but not people.
And we
Yes.
told you there is no clear dividing line like that, between a hominid ancestor that didn't need reason, and then one day, bang, magically, you had a human being
Well, why
who
do you believe that?
did need reason, huh?
Why do you believe that?
What do you believe?
Because there's like absolutely no evidence of such a line. What we have is a slow
There
progression
isn't a line
of
between
of
animals
intelligence,
and
a
people?
slow progression between early hominids and
Right.
human beings.
Right.
Andrew, you agree with evolution, right?
I agree with evolution.
Have you read much, like Richard Dawkins, for example, on the subject?
I have not read his book.
Okay.
No, I've read books on evolution, but not.
Okay,
not
but
Richard
I
Dawkins
mean,
specifically.
you understand the point that there is nothing fundamentally magical about
Oh,
humanity.
I
They're
never
just
said there was.
one particular
Yes,
branch.
you are saying that there is. You're
Well,
saying
in what way?
you are saying that a thing called a human being is an entity that has to use reason to survive.
Yeah.
And a thing
And I think
called
you
an
can-
animal is something that doesn't have to use reason to survive.
And
Actually, I'm not sure you're saying that. You seem to be saying that because animals don't use reason to survive, therefore they can't survive, which is just nonsense. I just want to know, is this
I'm saying
are we wasting a bunch of time on something that's
peripheral?
peripheral?
Certain things in order
Caller,
to survive.
Andrew,
Let me just give you an example.
Andrew,
Yeah, sure.
we'll take turns.
Okay.
I have a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
My question is, this whole thing, your statement that man must use reason to survive.
Yes.
If I'm saying that right.
I'm saying animal.
Andrew,
Stop.
You're
no,
misunderstanding my
let this guy
argument.
go. Let this
Okay.
guy go.
All right.
Enough.
Sorry, I apologize.
You're
I
not-
apologize. I
Oh,
apologize.
let him go, meaning drop him?
He's apologizing.
I apologize if
okay.
I interrupted you. I just felt like you misunderstood my argument, I think.
I'm just asking you, is
Okay.
that you made that statement,
Okay.
and you don't understand our objection when we say that statement is false.
Okay.
And what I want to know is that statement just a peripheral, irrelevant issue that we're wasting time on, or is
Right.
that central to your argument?
Well, I think every animal does something it needs to do. In
That
order
is
to
not my
survive. And-
question, Andrew.
Okay.
Goodbye.
This is important.
Goodbye. No,
Okay.
it's not.
Okay.
Wasting my time is not important.